Well, the Financial Sector Conduct Authority says it's done a deep dive in the world of cryptocurrencies to try and further understand the digital currency industry and safeguard local consumers and users of the tokens. Despite declaring crypto assets as a financial product in October last year, the FSCA remains of the view that crypto asset-related activities still pose a significant risk to the market. Its study shows that over 5.8 million people, or 9.4% of South Africans' total population, currently own crypto assets. We're now joined by Rahulani, head of department at the FSCA's Fintech division. Now, talking about cryptocurrencies, during the pandemic, it was a buzzword. A lot of people looking to invest quickly and get quick returns without really understanding what cryptocurrencies were. What have you found in this particular study, and how is this going to help regulate cryptocurrencies in the country?
Good afternoon, Muteho, and good afternoon to the viewers. Thank you very much for giving us an opportunity to come and share with you the insights that we managed to garner from the study that we've conducted. I think, first of all, just to answer your question, this study will go a long way in assisting us as the FSCA to understand what are the risks that are currently out there. And by knowing the risks that are out there, it will place us in a position where we know how could we respond in terms of our regulatory frameworks, in terms of our licensing, and in terms of our supervision. As you may be aware, and you have rightly indicated in your introduction that we've declared crypto as a financial product. Yes, indeed, we have declared it as a financial product. But however, we still believe that this sector is dynamic, is forever changing. It warrants us to be closer to it, to keep on monitoring, more especially the risks that are there, and also to support the work that the FSCA is still currently doing, because this is a work in progress. So regarding your second question as to what are some of the insights that we managed to find out from this exercise, I think there are quite a lot. Just to highlight a few. Number one, what came out of this study is that unbacked crypto assets like your Bitcoin are the most popular among consumers. This is not a surprise. This is what it's basically doing, is mimicking the global trend. That's what we're actually seeing around the world. So what does that mean? It means most people are participating in the crypto space for speculative purposes. They will go in with the intention of making quick gain and leave the space. Number two, we found that most of these crypto service providers who are operating in South Africa, their headquarters in Cape Town. That's close to 45%, followed by Joburg, which what it does, it actually bear testimony to that statement that Cape Town is a silicon valley for Africa, where there are close to over 400 startups that are based there. However, from a regulator perspective, this put us in a position whereby it will be easy for us to regulate and also supervise this institution, since the majority of them are locally based. Thirdly, we're also finding that on average, close to 520 trading activities, 520 million worth of trading is happen around the crypto space in South Africa in the year 2022, with the exception happened in November, where we saw close to 8 billion worth of transactions have been traded. We were not surprised by that. This could purely be informed by what was happening globally. As you know, the FTX scandal hit around October, so most people probably wanted to buy to cash out and safeguard whatever they have.
And
so in a nutshell, those. Yes.
If we could just get into South Africa's regulatory journey, it must have been hard to try and regulate an industry while people are already sprouting out and trading in an industry that's not regulated at the time.
Yes.
Are you still on the back foot when it comes to regulating crypto in the country, especially because there could be huge losses here for those that don't understand how to use it?
Yes, a very good question. So, as far as our regulatory journey is concerned, it started long ago. As early as 2014, the Reserve Bank, through their payment system department, issued a position paper where they were warning people about the risks that are in the crypto space. The very same year, jointly, the FSCA together with the Reserve Bank, FIC, I think, and SARS, they issue a statement warning consumers about the risk of participating in crypto space. And then fast forward, the FSCA, together with fellow financial regulators in South Africa in 2019, issued a consultation paper where we sought input from the industry, everyone who's affected by this crypto phenomenon. And then by 2021, we issued our first draft position paper on crypto as under the IFWG. That's the Intergovernmental Fintech Work Group. That's the body that is made up of regulators, financial regulators in South Africa, with the National Treasury as part of that, as a policy maker. So the journey has been long, and then subsequent to that, FSCA declared crypto as a financial product in 2020, and then by 2021, a final position paper was issued by the IFWG, and followed by that, FSCA also issued a final declaration where we declare crypto as a financial product. So the journey has been long, where there's been a movement in South Africa from wait and see approach, where we issue statement, to more into regulating, where we are planning to regulate the space. There's still a long way to go, but the good thing is we are moving. And if you compare us with some peers around the world, we are not far off.
Then, Awelani, you're saying 5.8 million South Africans are already, holding some sort of crypto asset. Is there a banking ombudsman, if one can put it that way, for crypto users? Because we know when you're well regulated, then people can run somewhere if they're not happy with your product. But with everyone marketing themselves as the best crypto trader, is the protection for users and consumers?
Sure, good question also. So, this space is still pretty much new. So what I can just say to you, as we continue to engage with our fellow regulators and also the industry as large, there is talks around having a sort of an ombuds that will focus around that. But at the moment, it's not, because as you might be aware, the space was pretty much unregulated as it is. Until now, where we declare crypto as a financial product, where we are inviting those who are participating in the space to apply for license. So the space is still pretty much new, and there's a lot of work that still needs to be done around that, which the issue of ombuds could also be considered going forward. But at the moment, it's just talks around that.
South Africa is currently on a grey list, and there are bad actors in this particular industry in terms of those that use crypto to fund other sinister organizations, criminal activities and such. Is South Africa, on the dial when it comes to this? Do we monitor such things in terms of movement of trades in the crypto industry?
I think this study, as it is, it will definitely go a long way in assisting South Africa in terms of, because what it has done, it has highlighted some of the risks that are there, especially some of the risks also, the AML CFT, the ones that you are clearly articulating there. So I guess what it has done, it has highlighted that, and us as a regulators, it put us in a position whereby we'll have to put measures into place to make sure that we are able to regulate, we are able to monitor the space very closely. And also on some of the questions that we pose to cryptos, we ask them, to crypto asset financial service providers, we ask them, are you monitoring cross-border activities? Where majority of them, they did indicate that they are actually monitoring cross-border activities to ensure that there is a compliance with AML CFT issues. However, we still have a portion of those who are actually not complying, which means that as a regulators, that's a risk, and that's something that we have to monitor and watch very closely to ensure that we deal with bad actors who will expose us as a country.
We've seen the flop of FTX and also Binance being fined in the U.S. Do we have that strong prosecution stand when it comes to crypto, where we can, monitor some of the trades and also be able to find out whether criminal activities are happening and help prosecute? Or is it just still at the FSCA point where we're studying and building policy as a country?
At the moment, I would say we are still we are monitoring the sector very closely. And definitely, we do have the enforcement department within the organization that is also monitor such kind of activity very closely. And need be, they always act when they have to deal with such bad actors. But as I've indicated to you, at the moment, we are monitoring the space very closely. And yeah, if there are any activities that are happening that are outside the law, we'll be able to deal with them. I think the good thing is we have declared it as a financial product, and then we have requested the FSP to apply for licensing. Then it bring them under our regulatory purview and give us power to act should something goes wrong.
And Awelani, let's look at how many licenses have been registered with the FSCA when it comes to crypto compared to those that are currently trading in the market. Are enough people coming forward and trying to do things in a legit manner?
Sure. So the information regarding how many I'm not privy to, say since I'm not that very close to that process, is the licensing department. But what I can say is there's been a great interest from those who have come trying to apply for license, but I don't have the information since such kind it's very close to the licensing department.
And those that offer these financial services in terms of trading in crypto, do they have to sign up somewhere, have a license, so people can know where to call and report them if they're not doing great by their clients, as traders would have to do as well? So from the survey, what we have managed to find out is that these crypto asset service providers, they do have a complaints management processes in place, whereby if, for example, people feel like they have been grieved, they have been untreated badly, they are able to lodge a complaint. However, this is something as a regulator, we will monitor it very closely, since we are very much close to the space now, to make sure that indeed there is a TFC principle, treating of customer failure principles, that are embedded in the processes of these organizations. So yeah, but at the moment, what we've managed to garner from the study is that indeed they do have processes in place that ensure that customers' complaints are dealt with and resolved accordingly. And in terms of the macroeconomy, are we seeing any risks coming through from this particular industry? At the moment, no. At the moment, it's actually difficult to tell, because at the moment the sector is still pretty much small if you compare to the financial sector as a whole. But however, you can't rule out that there could be risks that can spill over to the macroeconomy, because the people who are participating in this sector, they are me and you, who at the end of the day end up going to partake in the very same economy. So it's at the moment, I would say it's difficult to tell, but you can't rule out the risk. All right, almost 6 million people now have crypto assets in South Africa. That was Rahulani, head of department at the FSCA's Fintech division.